Well, hello again. This is Hero. What I thought we'd do today is cover the subject of what to do when you have a tragic event. No matter how hard we try, sometimes bad things happen. And this one was one of the that did that too. This ginkgo is probably between 30 and 40 years old. And it was a big, more like a landscape size. And I cut it right here. You can kind of visualize this part here. And then, well, it started rotting out. And then I had to actually drill a hole in here so that water would not stand. Okay, but it's been a number of years, so you could see that it's starting to heal back. Now it looks like a kind of a nice bonsai with a deep character. So as this slowly turns, you can see that it actually looks pretty good now, right? And that's one of the things we want to do in bonsai, that despite all this hardship, it has survived. And, you know, around here, things have to be really tough because I have too many plants, so they don't get baby like they should be. But you could see that lower part here probably got sunburned a little bit, and it's starting to heal back. But now they're all becoming like features. This one here probably was a big side branch that took that out. But then there's a little one here, and it helps to make it heal. So yes, when you have something bad, you gotta start to think a little bit harder in terms of how you're gonna do the styling. Ginkgos are a very tough plant. They say this is from the dinosaur days, but it's not an easy one to style because the leaves, it's really hard to get them to shrink down. But I think this one has a nice presentation. So I'll let it go around one more time, and then we'll get to another example of what to do after a tragic event. Yeah, this one's really coming together. Well, like I was saying, the leaves are quite big, and it's hard to shrink them down. But in the fall, ginkgos have the best coloration. Some plants are sort of iffy, but it's almost consistent. They get bright yellow, and I think most people are amazed by that. So, although it is a hard bonsai material to work with, I think it's very well worth it to have one in your collection. Okay, that's probably the front. Okay, what we have here is a dwarf pomegranate. This one is, stupid me. Well, what happened was, what usually happens around here is the watering failed. The emitter came out, and the main part died. I had it going pretty nicely on the main side, and then I see that, oh my God, this is dead. Well, there was a little bit of life on the right-hand side, right here, all that. So I kept it. But it's been over 5 years, I think, since I got it going. Yeah, this one's been through hell and back. You can see that the main truck burnt there, and then there's just a little bit of lifeline and keeps this thing going. Of course, it was just barely a little bit of life, and then it took me at least 5 years, maybe even longer than that, to get to this point. So I think this is a good example of what you have to do when you have a tragic event. Well, when you have a tragic event, what you got to do is wait it out. This one here, I mean, for the first 2, 3 years, other than just a little bit of life, it looked horrible. Those of you that only have a few in your collection probably couldn't take that. But I have so many of them, I just stuck it in some corner, and I look one day and I say, hey, this one has now potential. So I've been styling it since then. And I think it's kind of coming out as a very dramatic presentation. So yes, it was a tragic event probably 10 years ago, but it's starting to come back in a new form. So I'll let you see this. Let it go around twice. See where it's got burn marks? Well, I think what happened was this part here was sunburn when this part was still active. These darn mosquitoes. Well, you know, we've been having some nice rain and things like that. Oops. I was trying to chase the mosquitoes and that thing just went flying. But anyway, yes, we have rain, but today is clear up. This is the kind of weather I really like because it doesn't drive you crazy raining all day long or all the time. So it rained last night, probably about an inch, and then it's going to be dry till tonight, and then we'll see what happens on Monday. Today is Sunday, and these pomegranates are starting to bud now. Okay, so I was trying to figure out which side was the front. I think the one that's coming around, I think I like this as the front because it shows that in spite of all the hardship, it has made it. Or I could just keep it in a round pot, then I don't have to really define. So, but I was thinking maybe this side would be great. It'd be great in a round taiko gata or drums style, I think. Okay, what we have here is a liquid amber, and this is a two-parter because I split it in half. Originally there was like this, and there was on this side here, there was a wound here, got infected, and I have to cut it out, right? So I think if you go back about 3 years, I did this one on one of the chapters. You can see liquid amber is a difficult one too because of the foliage, but they do color up nicely in the fall. Not as consistent as the ginkgo, but you can see what I was trying to do is to kind of cover this up. If I have this long enough, this might even fuse into the rock. But that might be like a 20-year project too. But I think just needed something here, so I added the rock. It might come off in the future, but I think it fits nicely right now, so I'm gonna keep it for now. So let it come around and we'll look at it twice. Yeah, well, this thing's probably 40. When I was still landscaping, I dug this up as one of the cleanup things, and I don't know how old it was when I got it. So it could be more like 50 years old, but I think it was about 35, 40 years ago that I dug it out. And we generally don't try to make bonsai out of this, so I have not made any, just this one here because I had it. So you could see well, like I was saying, this chapter is about tragedy and how you can make things better. Well, the center part rotted out and it really looked kind of silly. A live part here and the other live part there, and dead center. So as soon as this goes around half more time, I'll get the other part. See, and it's all been starting to heal back. That's what you want to see. You want to have damages that is beginning to heal back. Okay, right about here I think is the front. Okay, this is the other half of the liquid amber. I believe this part was connected to that part, and I probably changed the tilt so that you don't notice that as much, but it's coming together as another interesting piece. Actually, what I'm saying is if I cut across here, then I could make two, and this would be more like a standard piece. Or not. It's kind of interesting the way it is, I think. And so today's example of 3 trees that had a little bit of rough life, taking on a new look. So those of you, well, you know, if you don't make some mistakes, that means that you're not trying hard enough. That's the way I look at it. If you don't mess up a few times, kill a few plants, you're really not pushing the elements. Of course, I don't like to kill things, but sometimes you really have to kind of push it to see if you could come up with something new. I'm just making up excuses for the goof that I've done. Anyway, this is Hiro saying, I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So if something bad happens to your plant, don't give up. Just let it be for a while. It may take you a while, but a lot of them can be saved. So as this thing comes around one more time, I'll wrap this up. I'm gonna figure out how to get rid of all this mosquito that's buzzing around me. So here it is, and I'll say goodbye for now. See ya.